Hi, welcome back with Tea with your counsellor. Today I'm here with Freddie Pienaar, who is the ward councillor, or the current ward councillor for Ward 78.
87.
87, I'm dyslexic, disclaimer, for Ward 87. And Freddie has been a councillor for 5 years, but he's also been part of the politics in the DA for very, very, very many years. Yes, we can see your nervousness about me asking you a personal question. So Freddie, with that, I'm going to go over to asking you specifically about, you've been a councillor for very long, you've been part of the DA for very long, but you've also done a lot for philanthropy work in your community. I mean, when I met you, I think you had about 2 people living in your house with you because they were homeless at the time. Can you tell us a bit about where your heart lies when it comes to the community?
Well, I started off, like you said, as a community worker, a charity worker. I've been involved in the children's home, Jacaranda more specific, and that's where we kind of adopted one of the kids there to live with us, to get him out of the current situation that he found himself in. And that's where the love for the community actually started, and I got involved in the DA and in politics and in working closer with my community. That's basically where it started, and that was in the region of early 2000, around about there. But before that, I used to do a lot of community things as well, assisting kids, getting them out of the streets, of drug abuse, those kind of things through sport. So that's the core. That's where it started, where I started getting involved. I met the DI people through the sport actually when the DI got involved and assisted me to get the children's home kids to sporting events and those kind of things.
So you're hiding a bit your success in sport. You lived overseas for quite some while doing some professional sport. Tell us about that.
Yeah, that also goes back a long way. My passion for sport started in cycling, and I got good at it after a while when I broke my arm doing some action sports and so forth.
And don't hide the action sports. Freddie was a cage fighter when he was a younger man.
Well, it's more like a mixed martial arts kind of thing, and that was before the actual approving, or when they started approving MMA as a sport.
Okay.
And that's why I got a couple of injuries. But nevertheless, when I got hurt in that sport, then I switched over to cycling just to get, to stay active, because I'm not someone that can sit around in an office doing nothing. And I grew in that sport, and then I thought, okay, well, I'm good at this, so let's give it a shot. And I went overseas and I practiced as a professional for a while, stayed there in Belgium, learned a lot, saw the world, and I came back and started as a politician and a community worker.
Why did you want to come back? Why did you not stay there?
Well, this is my country. I will not stay there. I'm here to change things for people. I want to make, I want to be part of the change, and I want to improve lives of people and grow the economy with my party when we win. Eventually, we will, which we will. And I want to be part of the change and the growing of the economy and people's quality of life. Yes.
So you've also found a way to make your passions work for other people as well. You were involved in 2 Race for Better Hearings, and I know that you did a couple of charity drives for your local children's home as well on Christmases, where you did a fundraising. Now tell us about these crazy things, because the Race for Better Hearing was quite an intense race that you had to do.
Yeah, I think we'll have a very long discussion when we talk about these things, but yes, we did, I think, 3 tours for Race for Better Hearing, where we raised funds for hearing impaired kids, specifically to get cochlear implants. And then we also went abroad to Switzerland, where there was also a charity ride called, now I've got the name, the Spenden Marathon. That basically runs parallel with what we were doing in South Africa. So in 2020 we would do a race for Betty Hearing, and 21 we would do an overseas event. And yeah, we raced quite a bit for kids with that's required implants or hearing aids, and it was quite a satisfactory event, if you can say so. Yeah.
How long is these races?
Well, the race for Betty Hearing was between 1,000 and 1,300 kilometers, I think, if I'm correct. We went to PE from Joburg, from Pretoria, then we went to Cape Town, we went to Durban. And in Switzerland, they are generally in the region of about 1,500 to 2,000 kilometers. And that's quite a challenge, because then you do a total ascent of 35,000 meters, which is a vertical ascent of 35 kilometers up and down the mountains through Europe. So yeah, it's quite a challenge, but it's nothing compared to what, you know, kids without the ability to hear have to hear.
How do you prepare for this?
I don't.
Okay, so you're telling me you get on a bike and you go and ride 1,500 kilometers without preparing?
Well, basically yes. My community,
This is a nervous giggle.
the community is in general really demanding sometimes, you know. So yeah, the time to train and prepare for this is limited, and yeah, sometimes it's a bit of a challenge to enter those things without any preparation. But I've got a little bit of muscle memory from the days when I raced, so it's not that difficult. So it takes me about a week to get the basic fitness, and from there on it becomes fun. You know, it's not that tough anymore.
Okay, so but this is something that you do because you enjoy it as well, and it connects two of your passions.
Correct. That combines basically two of my passions, which is to assist and help people, and then the other one's the sport, obviously.
Okay. Now, tell me about your home life. You have a daughter?
I do. She's 10 years old. She's also cycling, and she's getting good at it, and she's going to beat her mum very soon. If she does, she's already able
I know
to
both
do
the
that.
daughter and the mum, and I think I can believe this. She's quite a fire starter.
Yeah.
So how do you balance being a father, being in your community, because you're somebody that pretty much gives your all to your community. You get 100% invested. How do you balance doing all of that, and then still finding time to on a Sunday go and ride 150 kilometers on your bike?
Well, like I said, I don't do the 150s anymore. The longest distance I do is 30, and that's with my daughter. And sometimes we cycle to where I need to do something for the community. So it's basically serving both of the purposes at once. I spend time with my child, I do what I enjoy in the sport, and then I attend a meeting on my bicycle. And the general community accepted me like that. So, and that's great. Yeah.
So now I feel quite horrible because we're having you sitting here doing only one thing, and it seems like you at all times do about 2 or 3 things and never only focus on one thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Recently I did road inspections. Well, I thought, okay, I need to go ride my bike, so I might as well do that while doing the inspection. So, and it's dirt roads, you know. So I got on a mountain bike, I made a few appointments, and I cycled, and I did the inspection, and spoke to the director, and there it was done. So another double purpose served at once.
That's lovely. Yeah. And then you're standing again to you've put your hat or your name in the hat again to become a councillor?
Yes, definitely. Hopefully people will vote for me still. So yeah, please do so. Obviously you can't keep everybody happy, but I do my level best to do so. So, and I think in general people see that, and they appreciate me the way I am, and I think yes, definitely I haven't achieved what I want to, so that's a no-brainer. I'm in again, and I'll be there next term.
The most difficult thing you've ever done? It doesn't seem like a lot of things is a challenge for you. So what's the most difficult thing you've ever done?
Well, I believe nothing's impossible. So if you ask me that question, there is not anything that I can actually say that's the most difficult thing. Maybe I really don't know. There's nothing too difficult. There's always a way to do things, and there's if you put your mind to it, you can achieve it. So I don't think there's anything that's too difficult to achieve. I think the hardest thing I did maybe was a 1,000-kilometer one-stage race from Bloemfontein to Cape Town, and yeah, that was tough because that's no sleep, and you just got on your bike, get on your bike, and you cycle. So, but that's a physical thing. It's not. Not
they allow you to
else.
stop and eat?
Yeah, obviously you can stop and eat, but yeah, if you stop too long, then you won't win. So and I hate losing. So yeah, unless I die along the way, I will get to the finish line. So.
You will continue and you'll do what needs to be done.
That's it.
You fed a massive amount of families in your ward. How did you, at that point in time, the city was under administration, so you yourself did not get a income, so you were without an income, and you managed to feed, if I can recall correct, it was about 600 families?
Correct, that was in a region of about 500 to 600 families. Yes.
That you made sure that they had food, and how did you go about that? Where did you get the funds to do this?
Well,
and
I'm getting goosebumps thinking of it. I cannot take the credit myself. That was my community. I must tell you that. Well, it all started when one or two people approached me, and I could see they were struggling, and I understood the circumstances, and I felt it because, as you mentioned, we didn't have an income. So I approached one or two of my community members and said, listen, we've got a problem here. There's a family that's in need. And they said, no problem, let's help you. We went to Makro, we bought a couple of stuff. Then I thought, and the one member said, oh, why don't you ask the community? I said, okay, well, let's give it a shot, Excuse me. And I prepared some infomercial, or what you call those little graphic thingies. And I broadcasted it onto my municipal groups and community groups, and the response was tremendous. I mean, the food and the donations just started streaming in. And eventually, people got to hear about the project, and I got more and more names on the list, and then other colleagues like Ben Chapman and Malcolm came in, and we made a huge success of it. And unfortunately, there's still a need. The pockets are only that deep, so everybody's suffering, and to get more donations in is not that easy, but it was a successful campaign, if you can say so, and I think all the credit needs to go to the community. They were the champions of this project.
Okay, and you made it through the year as well, and again, instead of doing things for yourself, you plowed your way back into your community, and through that you thrived.
Yes, definitely, yes. That kept me alive. That kept me running, because if you sit at home and you think, okay, you have to isolate or quarantine or whatever because it's COVID, and I'm, like I said, I'm someone that needs to get out there and cycle and do things, and I think I would have died if I sat in the house for that many months. But we winged something, and somehow got a kind of a permit to do things, and we went out, and the Metro Police got to know me. Well, they already know me in the region, so they never stopped me. They saw what we were doing, and they appreciated that, and that's the history.
That's great. And I hope that you will be voted in to continue on this journey with your residents. I think you've plowed yourself into your community, made sure that you are part of your community, and that is all that any community can ask from a councillor, is to be there for them and to be their voice in council. So thank you very much for your time this afternoon. I earlier did put my hand on yours to get you to calm down, because I know that you don't like, it's very interesting, most of our politicians do not like talking about ourselves. Everybody thinks that in general politicians are boasting for just pictures and photo ops, but I'm finding that a lot of our councillors, the ones that I speak to, are we don't like talking about ourselves. So thank you for doing that, and thank you for opening yourself up for us on this afternoon.
Thank you. I don't like talking in general. I like doing.
That's also true.
and I'm not someone that wears a tie very much, and people got to know me like that. You know, sometimes I meet someone and say, "Hey, I expected all toppy with a tie." I said, "No, this is who I am." So, yeah, I'm your counsellor.
That's true, and hopefully you'll stay the counsellor. Thank you very
Thank you.
much. And thanks to Vetkoek Malaysia in Silverton for hosting us today.